Hello again and welcome to Tok Piksa. Tonight we look at a recent French warship visit to the nation's capital and a medical condition that has killed its way to becoming our country's biggest lifestyle health threat, diabetes. But first, Ruth Rungala takes us to Mendi and the staging of the 12th National Nurses Symposium, the only forum our nurses have to voice, challenge and propose changes for the betterment of their profession.
From different ethnic races and cultures, nurses were treated the Southern Islands way on the opening day of the Symposium. They processed round the town before proceeding to the Mome Oval. The theme was adopted to signal to the nurses that it was time now to put all knowledge into practice, whether it be research findings or classroom theories.
The theme looks very complicated, you can see, but it's very, very simple to implement it. The problem we have with us is that we have a lot of theories. We are all qualified in the theory part of the profession. We are not delivering.
This can be achieved through partnership, and the Nurses Association is embarked to bringing partners to build the nursing profession. Telecom has come on board as a partner recently to assist with broadband facilities.
We have begun a project called Research Project for the nursing colleges. That has begun in Mendi School of Nursing. For the first time,
government is the main partner in health, and while no notable government figures were present, member for Nipa Kutubu Jeffrey Komal on behalf of the government again announced the government's investment in the education and health sectors.
In the area of recruiting, the government will recruit more nurses and health workers nationwide. We are also proud of the fact that the government is working towards reducing the lifestyle-related risk factors which lead to chronic diseases.
He urged all nurses to see their work as a calling from the man above and be committed to it. Nurses have done researches into various topics, and this annual event is one of the only few chances they get to present their research findings. A total of 16 research and technical papers were selected to be presented at the event. Many of these papers were based on research actually done by the nurses themselves at their work locations. Topics range from patient care to staff health in the hospitals. To close the gap and for nurses to be proactive in their roles, a healthy workforce is needed. And Kathy Sedem from the Infection Control Department of Engau Memorial Hospital found that not all health staff were in good health.
Almost 56% of the population have dietary problems, either overweight or low weight. On the table chart you can see overweight 29% and obesity is 12%. And normal weight, healthy weight is 44%. Oh, we must not forget underweight is also a problem in dietary. So there are 15% staff who are underweight.
Little things like documenting health information was also brought up at the symposium. Many nurses have overlooked this simple but important function and were reminded to document patient information so as to avoid legal implications. Safety of nurses while handling needles was another topic of discussion at the symposium. An audit was done at Alata Hospital to find out injuries sustained by nurses from the use of needle stick.
The result of the audit, 30% out of 309 healthcare workers in Alata Province Hospital sustained needle stick injuries from January 2008 to December 2012.
There were questions and answer sessions after each presentation, giving an opportunity to participants to take part in the discussions. A panel of 7 members, mostly nursing directors, provided critique and comments. Ways to improve on doing research were some of the tips given to the nurses by these members. Most nurses met their own travel, accommodation and registration fees, but said it was worth spending. Local members in the province, though not present, assisted a hosting committee in cash to host this event. Prime Minister and member for Yalibu Pangia gave 250,000 kina, Southern Islands Governor William Powi 100,000 kina, and member for Imbungu Francis Awasa and member for Mendi Open de Kewanu also made some money available.
You're watching Tok Piksa. French Navy ship FS Vendémiaire recently made a 2-day stopover in Port Moresby. The visit was to strengthen the France-PNG relationship and discuss regional security issues. It was a hectic 2 days for the French Navy personnel who had the chance to visit different sites in Port Moresby, as well as take part in sporting engagements with the PNG Defence Force. Michelle Amba attended a farewell gathering on board the warship prior to its departure from Port Moresby.
The function on board the FS Vendémiaire started with guests arriving and clearance issued before boarding the 37.7-meter-long warship. Entry was strictly by invitation, and a little over 200 guests were invited to the cocktail party. Apart from distinguished figures, members of the diplomatic corps, civil society, and the business community were among those who attended. Guests were treated to a variety of French finger food and native beverages. The crew spared some minutes to mingle with the guests, and one was even excited and open to share his experience.
And the arts, the Papu arts, what we saw was really something I've never seen before. It was very singular, very creative, and sadly we only stayed 2 days, so we do not get to see much more of this. But from what I saw, the arts and the birds, it was really nice. Yes, of course, we took pictures of the city, of the markets outside. Some of the views also are really nice here in Port Moresby. And I also bought a few souvenirs to bring back home in France.
The ship has 83 crewmen, of which 6 are from New Caledonia. Before coming to PNG shores, it was in Sydney, Australia. Weighing about 2,800 tons, it was designed to patrol ice seas, mainly focusing on monitoring French economic exclusive zones. The man who commands FS Vendémiaire said he also monitors PNG waters.
This ship has been designed and conceived to be able to patrol ice sea, and especially the French economic exclusive zone, but also as we have some agreement between Pacific country to patrol also Papua Papuan economic zone to report to see if we see anything wrong. For example, illegal fishing. We cannot intervene, but we can see, notify and inform your country about this.
Routine calls included a visit to the Bomana War Memorial Cemetery. Sharing his PNG experience, the captain was disappointed that he missed the opportunity to see a real bed of paradise and hopes to return to PNG one day to fulfill his wish.
Bird of paradise, I mean, we know it, but I never saw one. I didn't get the chance to see one, but I see a statue of them and also a postcard. It's very famous, and unfortunately I have to come back to see a real one. And I mean, Papua New Guinea is it's a name magic, very famous all over the world. We know it in France, even if it's so far, and I have the chance to have been once in Papua New Guinea. And this is what I will tell to my children. I've been there.
During their stay, the commander and his crew members had the opportunity to meet PNG Defence Force soldiers. The visits to different sites in Port Moresby are some memories they will certainly bring home with them. A political territory of France, New Caledonia is a close neighbor of PNG, and so the visit was to link and strengthen that bond. While political frameworks are growing steadily, economic relations have been limited. However, this is projected to grow as a result of recent agreements between the two nations.
Diabetes is a lifestyle disease that is slowly killing thousands of Papua New Guineans every day without them even knowing. Sadly, many have reached the later stages of this disease, and those who are able to get help now have to live with it for the rest of their lives. Westernization-induced changes in eating habits and lifestyle are forcing many Papua New Guineans to have to deal with this disease. Francis, Andrew, and Moku are a lively trio from the Bedili Diabetes Clinic in Port Moresby. They have lived with the disease for many years because of family support, self-determination, and most importantly, consistency with medication and regular health checks. Here, they share their stories with Salome Vincent.
As PNG embraces and adapts to westernization and the modern style of living it brings with it, new and improved ideas have changed our way of living and doing things. For many of us who live in major towns and the city, these changes are quite obvious. Our daily activities of working, traveling and socializing are slightly different to those in the rural settings, but focused on survival. In a village community, daily activities are inclined towards providing the next meal for the family, and as we have been introduced to some opportunities and pleasures of modernity, selling crops to earn money for school fees, rice, sugar, and communication needs. In the towns and city, we are exposed to extra activities and opportunities that influence how we live and why we work, travel, and socialize for survival. Of course, with these good things, we are faced with many challenges that come with having too much or too little. Having access to good things can bring out some bad or worse experiences. For example, having a well-paid job guarantees your survival, but to what extent? And your health is one aspect of your survival that can easily be affected. Sadly for many, even a good job has not been able to contribute positively to their health. It has kept them too busy to eat well, too busy to exercise and rest well, and over time their health is left to deteriorate. Recently, we met 3 individuals who are living with diabetes or sick sugar. It is developed when one does not look after their health by eating right and eating just enough of the right kind of food. Before the 1960s, diabetes was rare in Papua New Guinea. But by the late 1970s, there was evidence that diabetes was increasing among some urban dwellers. The PNG Diabetes Association said the increase in cash flow in the country over the years has changed people's eating habits because they were able to afford more. Francis Mamia is 62 years old. He has been battling diabetes for more than 10 years. He said diabetes resulted with him losing his eyesight, which started 10 years before his first diagnosis in 2001.
Yes, I had a good job at one time, by my stock. And I think it's that extra money in the pocket was driving people with mischief ideas long. Because you have the money, you can afford this, you can afford that. But you buying junks.
Today, Francis tries to keep his sugar level below 10 millimoles. The normal sugar level is 4 millimoles. He avoids sweet and greasy foods and controls the amount of carbohydrates he consumes, which can be found in most garden foods and others like white bread. 49-year-old Andrew Wapi has lived with diabetes for 10 years since his diagnosis in 2002. Today, his daily meals are given at intervals and in small portions. His work status as a self-employed construction worker keeps him physically fit and his sugar level at a minimum.
All one of something only cat, all is our thing you mean, kaigable all yet on the me. Now also karagamna. All cooking is able to have knowledge in God you mean, come kage. That's all in on a plandy. Or some leak. Miss Oxim leak along 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock also, now afternoon.
Moku Momo is 55. She describes herself as a sugar addict. She has been a homemaker for many years and developed the taste for sweet foods when she used to bake. Today, she is unable to enjoy these choices because she is diabetic.
But now, I want to tell you this. I don't touch all these things. They are not good for my body. Doctor said, you got a sugar, your sugar level is that up. In Golo house, I told my sister-in-law, I'm not going to take all this sweet, even drink, soft drink, everything, nothing. My drink is pure water. And you drink water, your life will be long.
Today, all their energy is consumed in keeping healthy, which may sound like a lot of hard work, but Moku says it's for the best.
I don't want, when they fry, I say, it's okay, for you people fry. For myself, I want on the fire or boil it on the pot, just steam it. And, children, they got said to me, Auntie, we are sorry for you. I said, it's okay, I'm happy.
Specialist Dr. Joyce Sauk said people between the ages of 30 and 50 are a high-risk group. Many of them get diagnosed much later in their diabetic stage after facing health complications. By then, it is difficult to treat them because there are no specialized equipment and machines available.
Well, the sad thing about diabetes in PNG is that they come when they already have complications, you see. It's not like in other countries where screening is everywhere and it's just part of people's behavior to go and get screened, even when they don't have the symptoms. They do it like a family thing. But here for diabetic patients, all of those ones that we are seeing have one way or the other, they already have complications. So management gets a little bit tougher for doctors and nurses.
Diabetes has many health consequences. This makes it dangerous. One of the direct results of diabetes, if not controlled, is high blood pressure, which increases the risks of heart attacks and related heart diseases. Sadly, doctors and nurses dealing with diabetics are limited to sugar screening only. Here at Badili Clinic, all services are free for diabetic patients, and they are happy with this.
Here, supplies also give him free.
Yet there are simply not enough resources to handle the current known cases. More so, no one knows the exact magnitude of the problem because there is not enough data available. Dr. Sauk has called on the government to put more effort into addressing diabetes.
And to this day now, we still don't have dialysis machines. All those complicated medical equipment to help with late-stage complications like kidney failure, heart problems, complications of the eyes, and all those kind of things, amputated legs and all that. We don't have those medical equipment yet.
Tomorrow, Monday 11th of November, a one-week awareness program will take place in Port Moresby in preparation for World Diabetes Day on November 16th. The public is urged to go along and get their blood tested. It will include eye checks, blood pressure checks, and weight and sugar level checks.
It's a free public health check. So people, anyone from the public or every walks of life can just walk in and have a free eye check. Blood pressure, they can take their blood pressure and weight, and even sugar test.
Yoga.
And yoga too will be
how to exercise.
Yeah, yoga too will be done, so it's good to learn how to relax our minds, and definitely that will be helpful to the body as well. Yeah.
The main event for World Diabetes Day will occur on Saturday, 16th November. The public is encouraged to join and promote healthy living.
Whilst our medical service providers continue to develop in their fight against lifestyle diseases, we must each learn to recognize the pitfalls of better lifestyle changes and be willing to change in moderation. We'll see you next time on Tok Piksa.